can hear the ocean. It's crazy. So we're heading up to the high ground to get some pine needle tea. I like pine needle tea, but I only really like it off of the really young white pine trees. When you pick just the very tips of the branches, that makes the best tea. It's actually a little bit sweet to me, and I really like it. Supposedly it's got, you know, vitamin C and all that kind of good stuff in it, so I enjoy drinking it when I come out. And plus, I just like to start fires. Is that weird? So this is what I'm talking about. The very young, very small little white pines. You take just the very tips off of each of the branches. Doesn't hurt the little tree or anything for all you tree huggers out there. Tree's fine. Take the little tips off each one. Like that. Take one off here. Just the little ends is all we want. And that is a little bit, maybe a little more. Like a strong brew. Here we go. The wind is kicking. Storm is coming. I can feel it in my bones. Now, to get my fire started, I really like to use the ends off the really small little tips of these evergreen trees. This is a eastern hemlock right here. Eastern hemlock. And the little bitty twigs off the ends work really good for getting your fire going. You don't need to worry about a tender bundle or anything like that if you've got a lighter, which I do. So I'll just pick the little ends off of here. I'll get a whole big handful, a couple big handfuls actually, and that'll get the fire going real easy with just a flick of the bic. So I've got my great big bundle of dry twigs here off the evergreen tree, the eastern hemlock. This is great to get the fire started. However, that is not what I want to use to boil my water in my pot, because if I use stuff like this to boil the water, it gets the black sticky resin-like material on my bottle or my cup, and then I stick it in my bag. It gets all over everything, kind of makes a mess. I came down here to this little gully here, to get out of the wind a little bit, and plus I've got a makeshift bench right here ready to rock. So I've always loved getting out in nature and heading out in the woods and doing things like this. But I've always felt rushed. Smoke in my eyeballs. I've always felt rushed because I always thought maybe I was being greedy, because I was spending this time by myself and not spending time with family, you know, my kids or my wife, and to an extent I still do, but the reason I started this channel is so I could share these experiences with somebody, hopefully with a lot of people. Hopefully I can inspire a lot of people to get out and do things, you know, get off your butt, quit watching YouTube, get out a little bit and do something productive, you know, have an adventure. So I'm gonna boil a little bit of water, have a little bit of tea in a semi-clean cup, not so clean cup, and share it with you. So cheers. Eesh. Flames are hitting my handle. It's not gonna be good. Yikes. Generally, I try to keep the handle out of the flame so you can take it off of the fire afterwards. But so much for that plan. There we go. She's starting to boil now. Piney.